بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. All praise is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We glorify His name, we celebrate His praise. We thank Him for protecting us, for preserving our iman, for granting us hidayah. We repent unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all our sins, and we seek His forgiveness from all our misdeeds. We equally seek Allah's continued mercy and blessings for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his entire household and companions, and on all of those who adhere strictly to his teachings and follow his guidance till the day of recompense. Allahumma ameen. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, this evening we shall conclude the practical demonstration of the Prophet's mode of salah. We started last week based on requests from some of our sisters, and we felt that it is imperative that we conclude it today, bi-idhnillah, so as to continue with our dars. We have probably just 3 weeks for this semester before we begin examination. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us, and may He grant us success. So let's begin, inshallah, from where we stopped. If you recollect, we have talked about facing the Qibla as a requirement for Salah. We have talked about Takbiratul Ihram, the first takbirah that you make on Salah, and how to raise the hands while making Takbiratul Ihram. We have also talked about recitation of Fatiha, and Surah, and Ruku' and Sujood. However, there is a need to go back to some of the discussions that we had last week in order to give a broader explanation. So let's go back to Qira'atul Fatiha. Reciting Fatiha on Salah is a compulsory act because Surah Al-Fatiha is one of the pillars of Salah. وَلَا تَصْلُحُ الصَّلَاةُ because لا تجزئ صلاة لم تقرأ فيها بأم القرآن أو لم تقرأ فيها سورة الفاتحة. Any salat in which Fatiha is not recited is invalid. Now, when you recite Fatiha, whether you are a lone worshipper, al-munfarid, or al-fadh, as it is said in the al-fadh of fiqh, a lone worshipper is a munfaridu or al-fadhu, ay alladhi yusalli wahdahu. So whether you are a lone worshipper or you are an imam leading others in salat, or you are a ma'mum, a follower of the imam, Are we following? There are 4 situations in which a man may fall into in Salat. Number 1, it could be a munfarid, somebody praying alone, a lone worshipper. Number 2, it could be the imam, somebody leading others in Salat. Number 3, it could be the ma'mum, somebody praying behind the imam. Number 4, it could be al-masbuk. Al-masbuk is under the classification of ma'mum, but he has a special ruling. Al-masbuk is somebody who joined prayer after some rakat has been prayed. It's called al-masbuk. Al-masbuk. So, irrespective of which of these classifications you belong to, reciting Surah Al-Fatiha is compulsory. Whether you are praying alone or you are the imam, you know these ones are even clear. But what if you are the ma'mum praying behind the imam? The ulama said, and this is the statement of the ulama, Qadiman wa Haditha, that reciting Fatiha behind the imam is compulsory. Now, there are 2 views according to the ulama. The first view is that whether the salat is of a loud recitation or of a silent recitation, you are required to recite Fatiha compulsorily. Take, for example, you are praying Zuhri or Asri behind the imam. You are required to recite Surah Al-Fatiha compulsorily on that salat. That is a silent recitation salat. Now, take, for example, you are behind the imam for Subuh, Maghrib, or Isha. The imam will recite Fatiha loudly to your hearing. You are required to recite Fatiha also compulsorily. If you fail to recite Surah Al-Fatiha while praying behind the imam in a loud recitation salat, for salatu kabatila, the salat is invalid. This is one view, and it seems to be the view of the majority of the ulama. Hatta after bidhalika Shaykhuna Ibn Baz wa Ibn Uthaymin wa ghayruhuma. Hatta lajna daima. Even the permanent committee on iftar gave this ruling that whoever is praying behind the imam in a salat of loud recitation must recite Fatiha, otherwise he has no salat. Are you following? No. So while praying Maghrib earlier on, the imam started by reciting Fatiha. You are required to recite Fatiha behind the imam also. But Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala said you are not required to recite Fatiha if the salat is loud. And what is his own evidence? He said because number 1, whenever the Quran is recited, listen to its recitation and keep quiet. The Prophet also said, إنما جعل الإمام ليؤتم به فإذا كبر فكبروا وإذا قرأ فأنصتوا. The essence of the imam is to be followed. If he makes takbir, make takbir. If he recites, keep quiet. The Prophet also said, Man kana lahu imamun fa qira'atul imami lahu qira'a. Whoever has an imam, the imam's recitation is his own recitation, among some other evidences that he quoted. However, it was responded to by the ulama, the majority, that yes, the ayah you quoted is of the Quran. The first hadith, إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُؤْتَمَّ بِهِ فَإِذَا كَبَّرَ فَكَبِّرُوا وَإِذَا قَرَأَ فَأَنصِتُوا is also authentic. But there is disagreement over the authenticity of the hadith that says, مَنْ كَانَ لَهُ إِمَامٌ فَقِرَاءَةُ الْإِمَامِ لَهُ قِرَاءَةٌ فَبَعْضُ الْعُلَمَاء ضَعَفَهُ وَبَعْضُهُمْ حَسَّنَهُ أو صَحَّحَهُ. So, they said, irrespective of what you have mentioned, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that says, reciting Fatiha is a requirement of Salah. لا تجزئ صلاة لم تقرأ فيها بأم القرآن. Any salat in which Fatiha is not recited is not valid. In one riwayah he said, whoever prays without Fatiha, فهي خداج فهي خداج فهي خداج غير تام. Whoever prays without Fatiha, that salat is cut off, like something that is abtar, not perfect, not complete. My students, on this case, the position I've held for years, and which I want you also to hold these days, whether the Imam is reciting loudly or silently, please recite Fatiha behind the Imam in all your salats. In all your salats. When the Imam says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you can also say your own. Especially that the Prophet prayer is that he used to recite the Quran ayatan ayah. He doesn't lump verses of the Quran together. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, he pauses. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, he pauses. So if the Imam recites like this, you get the opportunity of what? Reciting behind him. But imagine an Imam that says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik. Continue like that. Until you go to God, what I've done now. Oh. Again, if the Imam does that, you should wait until he has finished his own Fatiha. Between Fatiha and Surah, you can recite your own Fatiha. In fact, even if the Imam was reciting Surah immediately after Fatiha, you can recite your own Surah then. You can recite your own Surah then. So this is what I see to be more correct. Wallahu ta'ala alam. If the Salat is of silent recitation, you are not required to recite Fatiha alone. After Fatiha, add Surah to it. After Fatiha, you do what? So don't just stand borongidile, like Yoruba will say. During Zuhri Asri, last two rakat of Isha, last rakat of Maghrib, the Imam is writing silently, Allahu Akbar, and then you just stood there borongidile, as if you're a Jamaat, like a non-living thing. No. While the Imam is silently reciting his Fatiha and Surah, you should also be reciting your own Fatiha and what? And Surah. So long as the Imam has not raised his hand to say Allahu Akbar for ruku', you should continue to recite any surah that comes to mind. When you finish one surah, add another one. Until the Imam goes to ruku'. Don't remain silent. Again, what do we call silent recitation on Salat? Some people will stand on Salat. It is sad that there is no light. I wanted you to see my lips, how you are required to move it on Salat. Some people will just stand on Salat, Allahu Akbar, and then they will keep quiet to themselves. And they will be reading, alhamdulillah. Some people say, Allahu Akbar, and then they do like this. Until they go for ruku. Wallahi, this is wrong. Wallahi, this is wrong. Silent recitation is by the movement of your lips. There are two ways to make silent recitation. Number one, by reciting quietly your own hearing. For example, look at me. Allahu Akbar. Can you hear me? You can't hear me, what? I can hear myself. This is the first way of doing silent recitation. Reciting to your own hearing. Sometimes the person beside you may hear, but not necessarily. The second way is by moving your lips without making sound. These are the two ways of making silent recitation of Salat. It is not by you are not reciting the Quran. You will not have Salat. Take care of this. So if the Salat is of silent recitation, continue to recite Surah after Fatiha until the Imam goes for ruku. If the Salat is of loud recitation, you are required to recite only Fatiha, not Surah. Are we clear? Now, having done that, the next thing is
You have to go for ruku. We have described this before. You raise your hand. Allah Akbar. You make the takbirah and you go for ruku. Allah. We have discussed ruku. That you place your palms on your knees as if you are holding your knees from touching your back like this. Like this. You spread your fingers. You hold your knees. And then you come with your back like this. You spread your hand. Males and females, they are no different. Don't do like this on ruku. Spread like this. Then you extend your back. You stretch. You don't do like this. You stretch like this. You don't do your head like this. You don't do your head like this. You are not looking here. Shuraik al-Qadi, rahimahullah ta'ala said, if you are standing on salat, while standing like this, you are looking at your place of sujood. While on ruku, you are looking at your feet area, here. While you are on sujood, you are looking at your nose because your eyes are looking backward. While sitting down between the tahiyyat, you are looking at your hips. While doing tahiyyat, you are looking at your fingers. These are the things to look. Even though Al-Imam Al-Qurtubi rahimahullah ta'ala said in his tafsir, when explaining the verse, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ قال القرطبي رحمه الله في هذه الآية حجة واضحة لمالك وما وافقه في أن المصلي حكمه أن ينظر أمامه في الصلاة. That you have to look like this. لا إلى موضع سجودي. But what is correct is that while on salat, inshallah, look at your place of sujood like this. So when you go on ruku, like this, and then you extend your hand. You don't do like this. Some people hold their legs. Some hold their shin. It is the knee you have to hold. Then you say Subhana Rabbi al-Azim 3 times or more. You can say Subhana Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdi 3 times or more. You can say Subuhun Kudusun Rabbul Malaikat wa Ruh 3 times or more. In case your imam is Usain Bolting through the salat, or is Lewis Hamilton in the salat. You know Lewis Hamilton? Okay. Yeah, he got the MotoGP, Mercedes. He's the face of Mercedes. So if your imam is Usain Bolting through the salat, like he has a spring on his vertebra. You know, some people pray like this during Ramadan. During Ramadan, when they are doing Tarawih, in Ilonia we call it Maduro Simba. Express. It is wrong. Al-Musi'u Salatahu, who prayed bad, Khalaf bin Rafi, that's a habit, is better than most people pray nowadays. He's not Salat person condemned 3 times. It's better than most people pray nowadays. So in case your imam is Usain Bolting, even if it is one you are able to say, Subhanallah, one is okay. Even if it is one, because of the other back of the in salat, no problem. Just take one and go. Now, from ruku, you stand. Sami Allahu liman hamida. I told you last week. Don't say Sami Allahu man hamida. All the riwayat of the hadith is Sami Allahu. When you raise like this, there are 2 views according to the ulama on what happens to the hand when you place them. As Imam Ahmed said, إن المصلي إذا رفع من الركوع إن شاء أرسل يديه وإن شاء خرج اليسرى release your hands to your side. Allahu Akbar. If you like, place the left on your chest and the right on the left. In the manner we said last week, remember, there are two manners of placement. And one one, when you place your palm here, like this. Or at the top rule, when you hold here, this hand is one, like this. So, these are the tools. Second, the Bible of Allah said it is bid'ah to even place the hand back on the chest. Second of the nation of the Bible, among other scholars said, you have to return the hand to the chest. Because it is reported that Prophet whenever he was standing on Salah, he used to place hand on his chest. And after the hours, this is a jurisprudence issue. If you return your hand to your chest, no problem. If you read them, no problem. It does not invalidate your Salah. I will follow you. I also told last week, there are 4 ways of saying Rabbana Kalam, right? You can say Rabbana Lakal Rabbana wa Lakal Allahumma Rabbana Lakal Allahumma Rabbana wa Lakal. All 4 are correct. Now, if you are praying behind the Imam says, Allahu liman hamidah. That Imam must also say, Rabbana lakal hamd. He must say it. But what about those praying behind the Imam? Are you required to say, Sami Allah liman hamidahu also? Or you are only to say, Rabbana lakal hamd? Don't forget, the Prophet said, إنما جعل الإمام ليؤتم به فإذا كبر فكبروا وإذا ركع فاركعوا وإذا رفع من السجود فاركعوا وإذا قال سمع الله لمن حمده فقولوا ربنا لك الحمد. The ulama have 2 opinions. One of the view is that you are required to say Sami Allah liman hamidahu also, based on the general meaning of Innama ju'ila al-imam liyutamma bihi. The imam is to be followed. The other view is that you are only to say Rabbana lakal hamd. Let me tell you which one I do. I combine the 2. I also say Sami Allah liman hamidahu, and I also say what? Rabbana. But when he stands, he is not keeping quiet. He is doing adhkar. Hamdan, kathiran, tayyiba, mubarakan fi. This is one. Mila as-samawat, wa mila al-ard, wa mil'a ma shi'ta min shay ba'd. Another one. Mila as-samawat, wa mila al-ard, wa mil'a ma baynahuma, wa mil'a ma shi'ta min shay ba'd. Another one. Hadha ath-thana'i wal majd. أحق ما قاله العبد وكلنا لك عبد اللهم لا مانع لما أعطيت ولا معطي لما منعت ولا ينفع ذا الجد منك الجد. There are several ones like that. After saying this, you can choose just one, learn just one, and say it. Hamdan kathiran tayyiban barakan fi. You're okay. Just don't keep quiet. Say something. Glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The next thing is to go for sujood. We have explained this also. Allahu Akbar. While going for sujood, you can raise your hand. The Prophet used to raise his hands when going for sujood. So you say, Allahu Akbar. Ahyanan. Not always. Sometimes. Sometimes, not always. So when you say, Allahu Akbar, you are doing al-hawiyu ila sujud or al-khurur ila sujud. You are going for sujud. I told us last week, there are two views among the ulama. One, your hands go first. Two, your knees go first. Let me demonstrate again. Allahu Akbar. So your hand goes, your knees come, your head. The second one, Allahu Akbar. Your knees first, your hand follow, head. Either of the two you do is correct, inshallah. Even though Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala favors the first one, that your hands go before your knees. This is based on the disagreement over the hadith of Wa'il bin Hujr, إِذَا سَجَدَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلَا يَبْرُكُ كَمَا يَبْرُكُ الْبَعِيرِ. In one of the riwayat, Shaykh Al-Albani mentioned, he said, فَلْيُقَدِّمْ يَدَيْهِ قَبْلَ رُكُبَتَيْهِ. So the ulama said, this statement is mudraj. It is what? Mudraj. In the science of hadith, Al-Bayquni said, وَالْمُدْرَجَاتُ فِي الْحَدِيثِ مَا أَتَتْ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَلْفَاظِ الرُّوَاةِ اتصلت. When a rawi adds a statement to a hadith based on his own understanding, it is called mudraj. Not from the statement of Prophet ﷺ. But sometimes the ulama will say, Ar-rawi adra bima rawa. The reporter knows what is reporting better than any other person. So, some of them rejected this last part. They said the hadith simply says, don't go on sujood like camel goes on sujood. Now the question is, how does a camel go on sujood? Al-Fayruz Abadi, rahimahullah ta'ala, mentioned this. He discussed this issue. He said, how many of you have seen a goat or a ram or a cow in the last 1 week? How many? Have you seen a goat in the last 1 week? When you notice them, four-legged animals, the first two legs have kneecaps. The last two legs don't have kneecaps. Is that correct? You notice? Check your ram or goat. The two legs in the front have kneecaps. They have kneecaps. The two legs at the back don't have kneecaps. Now, when you do like this, let's assume that a human being is not a four-legged animal. It will mean that the two legs in the front are equivalent to our own knees because they have kneecap. The two hands, our own two hands, are equivalent to their own two legs at the back because they don't have kneecap. This is how Al-Firuz Abadi was able to solve the issue in this hadith. How does the camel go down? Which one goes down first? He said, is it the two? He said, it is the two legs at the back that goes down first, then the two hands will follow. So if the two legs at the back, which are equivalent of our own two hands, will go down first, before the two legs in the front, which are equivalent to our own legs, it means that the hands are supposed to go down on sujood before the legs. Allah Ta'ala Alam, Al-Albani mentioned it in his Tamamul Minna fi Ta'liq ala Fiqh Sunnah. You can check the book, inshallah. Now, when you go on sujood, how do you make sujood? I told us last week. Prophet said, Umirtu an asjuda ala sab'ati a'dhumin. I have been commanded to make sujood on 7 bones. What are the 7 bones? The 2 palms, 1, 2. The 2 knees, 3, 4. The 2 feet, 5, 6. And then the 7. When you go on sujood, you go like this. Now, for ruku, you are spreading your fingers to hold your knees. For sujood, you are bringing the fingers together. For qiyam, you are neither spreading nor holding. You see Islam? See the system. When you say Allahu Akbar, you are neither holding them together like this, nor spreading them like this. Just normally.
For ruku, you are spreading them. For sujud, you are combining them. So you say, now, these your two palms can be either to the level of your shoulders or to the level of your ears, the same way you do for qiyam. So you can put your head in between your hands or the hands slightly backward a bit, like this. And then the head is ahead, or like this. The Prophet has warned us, whenever we go on sujood, we must make sure that our nose touches the floor. So whether you have a pointed nose or a disappointed nose, make sure that your nose touches the floor. The Prophet said, La salata liman lam yamassa anfuhu ma yamassul jabin. There is no prayer for he whose nose does not touch where the face touches. The face touches the ground. So make sure that like this, and then your nose touches. But your mouth is not required to touch the ground. So you have to keep your mouth from touching the ground. Now, the Prophet also warned us from iftiras kaftirasil kalim. What is iftiras kaftirasil kalim? When some people go on sujood, they put their hand down like this. This is wrong. It is wrong. Don't go on sujood with your hands on the floor. You have to raise your hands like this. Your palms on the floor, you raise your hands, and then you do like this. When you go on sujood, also make sure that you spread your hands. The Prophet used to spread his hands such that the Sahaba used to see the whiteness of his armpits. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So like this. Like this. And these fingers are facing the Qibla also. They are facing the Qibla. Don't do like this. Some people do like this. It is wrong. It is just like you are doing Qiyamah. Unless your legs are like this. How can you be praying like this? So, like this. Now, on sujood, you are saying, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. 3 times. Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdihi. 3 times or more. Subuhun, Kudusun, Rabbul Malaikat wa Ruh. But the sujood is more unique in the sense that the Prophet said, Akrabu ma yakunu al-abdu min rabbihi masajid. Closest posture a servant is to his Lord in salat is when you are prostrating. So he said, when you are in prostration, make supplications. فَقَمِنُونَ أَيُسْتَجَابَ لَكُمْ. You are closer to being accepted. Your prayers are closer to being accepted. So when you are on sujood, don't hasten to go up. After saying the adhkar of sujood, remember to make dua. Seek Allah's forgiveness. Seek Allah's bounties. Allahumma rzuqni. Seek Allah's mercy for yourself. Seek Allah's mercy for your parents. Pray for your dad or mother that has died. Seek for al-ilm, knowledge from Allah. Make dua in sujood. So you should spend more time in sujood than in ruku'. More time in sujood. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, when you're on sujood, we did this last week. We said, when you're on sujood, this is how you go for sujood. Allahu Akbar. Your 2 feet are to be combined like this. You are to bend the fingers, the toes, to face the Qibla like this. Allahu Akbar. Like this. Don't do like this. Don't do like this. Don't do like this. Like this. Now, you rise from ruku, from sujood saying Allahu Akbar. Now when you say Allahu Akbar, you are expected to sit in between the 2 sujood. There are 2 sujood per rakah, so you sit. Here we must take care of 3 things. Abu Hurairah said, Nahani Khalili, my friend, the Prophet forbade me from doing 3 things. Number 1, Nakra
كنكرة الديك. نكرة كنكرة الديك. Praying in the manner that a chicken picks corn or grain. You know when chicken are picking corn, how do they pick it? The ulama said this means as-salatu bi ghairi itminanin, praying without farabalain. When you pray without farabalain, it is called nakaratun kanakaratid dik. Allah Akbar. Allah. That a dog sits. Now, how does a dog sit? So let's watch. You go for sujood, Allah Akbar, like this. You are supposed to sit in between the two sujood. The following manners of sitting in between the two sujood are wrong. Number one. هذا إقعاء كإقعاء الكلب. This is sitting like a dog seat, like this. When you sit with your bum on the ground and your two legs like this. Number two, this. And this is very common. Number three, this. But you see this, there's a discussion on this. Why? There's a hadith by Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, that this is the manner the Prophet used to sit in between the two sujood. So Ibn Abbas said this. Some of the ulama said this hadith of Ibn Abbas has abrogated that one. And some said that one abrogated this one. So there are two views. So if you can avoid sitting like this also, avoid it. The two most prominent ways that Prophet used to sit during Salat are called al-iftirash and atawarruk. Al-iftirash and what? Atawarruk. How do you do iftirash? Now you said Allahu Akbar. As you are coming, Allahu Akbar, you are putting this one like this. Your left leg is coming like this. You are sitting on the left leg while your right leg is like this. You are raising your right leg up, and the toes of the right leg are facing the Qibla. This is what is called al-iftirash. Al-madha? Al-iftirash. So you should train yourself to sit like this. But this sitting is for number one, in between the two sujood. Number two, for the first tahiyyat in a salat that has two tahiyyat. Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. So if you are praying Asubah, after the second rakah of Subuh, you have to sit like this, and then you do your tahiyyat. If you are praying Zuhri, the first two rakat, you have to sit like this, like this. Asr, Maghrib, Isha, the same thing. If you are praying the last rakah of Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha, and you want to sit down for the final sitting, not the sitting in between the two sujood, you have to do what is called atawarruku. How? You see this leg that you are sitting on before, you move it inside, this one remains, this is a constant variable, and then your buttocks come down like this. This is how you sit for the final tahiyyat. So your legs, your right leg remains like this, the toes are facing the Qibla, and the left leg is inside, and then you are sitting like this. Is this understood? Please, we should try this when we get to our hostels. Try to. Some people's body has become stiff because they have been used to the wrong ways before now. It is never too late to learn. Only three things are constant in life: learning, unlearning, and relearning. These three things are the most constant things in life. You learn what you don't know. You unlearn the wrong things you learned, and then you relearn the correct things. Are we following now? So this is how to sit. Now, You are going for the second rakah. I have told you this last week. When going for the second rakah, the first thing is that it is sunnah to do what is called jilsatul istiraha. Jilsatul al-istiraha. The sitting for taking a rest, a short rest. So from don't go up like this. If you go up, no problem. That's valid. But try to do this sunnah. From this sujood, Allah Akbar, come like this. How are you sitting? You are sitting tawarukali. Tawarukali, like this. So you sit down for probably 5 seconds. You are not saying anything in this sitting. Nothing. No zikiru, nothing. Just to take a breath and then you go up. How do you go up to the second rakah? I have told us that Sheikh Al-Albani favors that you clench your fist like this, and that the upper part of your body goes up before the lower part. So you do like this, you clench your fist as if you want to, and then you raise this, and then like this. You get the point? So you put your hand like this, your chest is already raised, right? And then you raise your leg, and then you go like this. If you decide to flatten your palms, no problem. Like this, like this, like this. If you decide to go the other way, no problem. From like this. Because some people will even do like this. You come to this place of it. Then they place their palms on their thighs like this. And then they will go. Whichever is easy for you, no problem. Try get up. Try get up. You understand? So the second rakah is just like the first rakah. Now, when you rise to the second rakah, you are not required to raise your hand. You are not required to say Allah raising your hand. Just put your hand on your chest. Fatiha, surah, and then you do just like I mentioned earlier. Is that correct? Now, if you are praying a salat of 4 or 3 rakat, after the second rakah, you have to do what is called tahiyyat. Huh? Okay. You are required to do what is called tahiyyat. How do you do tahiyyat? The first thing is that don't forget you are sitting tawarrukali, right? Tawarrukali, like this. This is how you are sitting. Now, you see, this your left palm has to be on your left thigh. You can place it here. You can place it here. No problem. Here or here. Place it there. Facing this. You see this your right palm. You can do it in 3 ways. You can do like this. And then you raise this one. Because this is called as-sababa. The index finger needs to be raised. So you can do it like this and raise this one. You can do kobudu. Close this, close this, close this. And use this one to keep the 3 together. And then you raise this one. Are we following? This, this, this. And then this one is the key. And then you do this. Is that clear? You can also do the third one. Close this, close this. Form a ring with this and this, and do this. Do we understand? Are we trying to do that? 3 ways of placing your right finger for tashahhud. You can either do like this, and then you raise this one. Or this, this, and then this one is the key. And then you point this one to the Qibla. This one is a constant variable pointing towards the Qibla. Or you can do this, and then use this, the thumb. And I think you call this one the middle finger. Form a ring with the 2 of them, like this. Form a ring. And then you do like this. These 3 are correct. I have seen people doing like this. I don't like this. Because I don't think it is correct. Why? This palm is facing here. How did this one change from facing the hip here to turning to the side? It should be like this. So even if you are cutting this, it should be like this, not like this, or like this. La. It should be like this. Now, you see this one. You are shaking it. There are so many statements among the ulama concerning shaking it. Some of them said you start shaking from the beginning to the end. Some said no, it is until you get to Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. These arguments, these polemics are jurisprudential. The one I choose, start shaking from the beginning. Now, Sheikh al-Albani, Abu Ishaq al-Huwaini, Hafidhahullah, Sheikh al-Muhaddith, said, I asked Sheikh al-Albani, Rahimahullah, كيف يكون التحريك? كيف يكون التحريك? How is the shaking of the finger supposed to be? He said, Sheikh al-Albani said, look at it. When you point your finger to the Qibla like this, you shake like this. He said, Sheikh al-Albani said, this is not correct. Because this one is raising and dropping, raising and dropping, raising and dropping. You are required to shake, not raise and drop. Some people do like this. Holding and releasing, as holding and releasing, holding and releasing. Some people do like this. Hey, you are to shake, so shake it. Shake. Like this. You see now? This is shaking. This is not and it's not It is shaking. You shake. So, like I said, there are so many discussions around this. But Wallahu ta'ala alam, that seems to be the closest as far as I've read. So your eyes are fixed on that finger you are shaking. Don't be doing attire like this. La. Because the first thing Abu Hurairah said the Prophet forbade me from doing is iltifatun kaltifati thalab, nakratun ka nakrati dik, ika'un ka ika'il kalibi, iltifatun kaltifati thalab. Looking here and there like the fox. Your eyes are looking at the finger that you are shaking. Now, how do you do tahiyyat? There are so many siyag for tahiyyat. In fact, Sheikh Al-Albani mentioned about 12 different siyag. What we know very commonly is at-tahiyyatu lillah, az-zakiyatu lillah, at-tayyibatu salawatu lillah, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihina. This is one. There are others. At-tahiyyatu lil-mubarakat wa salawatu at-tayyibatu lillah, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullah. To the end. There is also a discussion around, are we supposed to say assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu or assalamu ala nabi? Because there is a statement that the Sahaba used to say assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi when he was alive, because he was alayka, but that after he died it became assalamu ala nabi. Me, I used to say assalamu ala nabi, not assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. Sheikh Al-Albani mentioned this in his Sifat Salat Nabi. You can go and read that inshallah. So just choose any of the siyag of tahiyyat that you know, and then say your salat. Now, there are about 4 things to do in tahiyyat. Listen very well. There are about 4 things to do. You see, at-tahiyyatu lillah, az-zakiyatu lillah, at-tahiyyatu lillah, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Part 1. You are not done yet. Part 2. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Part 2 no. Part 3. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. That is part 3. You are not done yet. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhabin fi an-nar wa adhabin fi al-qabr wa min fitnati al-mahya wal mamat wa min sharri fitnati al-masih ad-dajjal. Our sisters listening, don't do ataya and do salama. You are not done yet. The ulama consider Salatul Ibrahimiyya in ataya as among the wajibat of salat. So these are the 4 things. After you have done these 4 things, you can do salama. But beyond those 4 things, you can also include your own prayer. Rabbi Gfirli, Rabbi Ilman, Rabbi Barik fi hayati. You can start praying before you make salama. You need money, you need wife, you need husband, you need children, whatever you need, pray. Before you do salama. Are we following now? So this is the short way of salat. Now, after you have concluded tahiyyat, what are you supposed to do? The next thing is called at-taslim, signing out of salat. Oh, the next time, you have to sign out. You know, you signed in by saying Allahu Akbar wa tahrimuha at-takbir. Signing in is Allahu Akbar wa tahliluha at-taslim. Signing out is assalamu alaikum. Now, when you finish the tahiyyat, you see this finger that you have raised. Now, some people when they finish tahiyyat, they do like this. How many of you do this? You know, I'm done. No. This is wrong. Just drop your hand. After this, just drop it. Khalas. If you like, even drop. You may return the hand like this and you do a salama like that. No problem. But doing this has no basis. Aquario. No. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Now, when you say assalamu alaikum, even how to make salama, among the ulama, are you to take it front? You know, some people go assalamu alaikum, and then you why take it front? There are discussions. Now, assalamu alaikum. How to make salama? There are 3 ways of doing salama. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That is one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You will not add wa barakatuhu to the left. Or Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. 2. Or Assalamu alaikum. Khalas. Assalamu alaikum. You turn to the right a bit. That's all. Stand up, you are going. Salat has finished. And that is why, if you are behind the Imam, once the Imam has said Assalamu alaikum to the right, you can say your Salama too, because Salat has finished. Even before he says it to the left, Salat has finished. And once we say that, even if, what do you call it? You know the poop, you are finished. Salat has finished. Assalamu alaikum. It is not compulsory that in doing taslim, you have to do the taslim of an imam. So imam says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You can say, no, I'm not saying wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alaikum. Salama is salama. You don't have to follow imam in salama. Are we following? Now when you do salama, you are expected to turn your cheek such that anybody sitting behind you will see this your cheek very well. Like this. Make sure your jaw touches here. Don't do like this. Learn. So, our taslim, you have concluded salat. So I hope that we have tried to the best of our ability to describe the Prophet prayer, inshallah, as we have read from the books of the ulama and as we have heard from their lectures. So if there are follow-up questions, let's have the call to prayer now, and then we'll take a few questions till we meet on Friday, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على
الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the little explanation we're able to offer this evening. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will service from us as a lot of ibadah and that will grant us maximum understanding and reward. So let's look at some of the questions. Somebody here is asking that when does the Imam do istiraha? متى يمكث الإمام في جلسة الاستراحة؟ أنا لا أفهم هذا السؤال. وهل جميع التكبير كتكبيرة الإحرام مثلا؟ Okay. So جلسة الاستراحة, like I said, is a very short sitting. It should be very short, not long. So if your Imam does Jalsatul Istiraha, you should also do it because you are required to follow the Imam. Even though it is not compulsory. It is like your Imam recites an ayah of sajda and Imam does sujood, sajdatul tilawa. You have to go. If your Imam doesn't do it, you can't do it. Your Imam recites an ayah of sujood, and he didn't go for sujood, and then you went. Your salat has a problem. إنما جعل الإمام ليؤتم به. It is your Imam that you follow. As for the other takbirat, are you to raise your hand with them or raise before them or raise after them? They are the same. Just like we mentioned for takbirat al-ihram. You can say takbirah, you raise your hand together. Takbirah before raising hand, takbirah after raising the hand. Wallahu ta'ala. You said last week that if the Prophet had certain intention before Salat, Abu would have told us. I promised to tell us why. Okay, yes. Because the Prophet ﷺ, after he has made Takbiratul Ihram, he used to observe a brief silence before reciting Fatiha. Abu Huraira will not invalidate your salat, but it will affect your concentration. Imagine on salat, you want to release tusa. I think they also call it tusa. Eh? And you are not squeezing like this. It will affect your khushu. Why not let it out? Some people will say, imagine on the last raka, or on the last attire, that's where your tusa want to go. Wallahi, I don't agree. Yeah, they will not squeeze and make themselves uncomfortable. But it does not invalidate your prayer if you don't let it get out. But it may affect your khushu and concentration on salat. But your salat is valid, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Does holding of fat, knowing or doubting one will fat nullify salat? I just said no, it does not. It doesn't. Even though you are required to use the toilet before you come for salat. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا صلاة بحضرة الطعام ولا وهو يدافع الأخبثان. Now that riwayah, ولا هو, there is no wa. ولا هو يدافع الأخبثان. Salat should not be observed when food is served and you are hungry. When food is served and you are hungry, I beg, eat first so that you don't Usain Bolt the salat. And if the imam start reciting long surah, you don't start cursing him. Some people will start cursing the imam because he is longing the salat. So go and eat, I beg. And if you feel pressed, wala, wa huwa yudafiul akhbathan, if you feel pressed to either release flatulence, urine, or defecate, go and use the toilet first. But while on salat, if it happens and you hold it, your salat is valid, inshallah. I have some people saying, if one flatulated, and he has sick 3 times, he doesn't need to perform ablution. Who told you that? Abu Hurairah said, Prophet said, لا يقبل الله صلاة أحدكم إذا أحدث حتى يتوضأ. None of your salat is valid if you are impure until you perform ablution. If you fart 1,000,000 times, your ablution is 1,000,000 times. What ulama have mentioned is that there is something called urine incontinence. Urine incontinence. In Arabic, we call it salasul baul. somebody that is having continuous urine. It could happen that somebody is also having continuous farting. They said, number one, go to the toilet to empty your bowel. Number two, take more of water. Number three, avoid foods that make you to fat. When you are eating beans and egg and odundu, you know oduku? Sweet potato and beans and egg, is that not the making of an atomic bomb? Or you are drinking fura de nunu and you don't want to release flatulence? How is it possible? Stop eating such kind of things. But then, if it persists, after one or two attempts, wait for some time before you perform ablution again and try again. But don't say after 3 times, be praying they go. Be praying they go, be down they go, no. Okay. Scratching of body while praying, it does not nullify salat, but it definitely affects your khushu'. Some people cannot pray one single rakah without remuing and rejuing. Without remuing and what? And rejuing. And they are removing things from their nose, they are removing things from their eyes. Why? They are scratching their head. They are... Women, they do that a lot. Some people will be scratching body, no. Try as much as you can to not do these things because they affect your khushu'. But they do not nullify your salat. Your salat is still valid, inshallah. What is the hukm of bending in salat? As far the qibla is not wrong. Bend in salat. How? How do you bend in salat? Okay. Now, you are praying and your phone fell down from your pocket. Right? And you're already standing up. Or your car fell down from your head. And you want to, why are you picking it up? Okay. What's the question? Okay. No, if the qibla is towards that side, no problem to bend. But be very mindful of bending in a wrong direction. If the qibla, for example, if the qibla is like this, and you bend like this, no problem. No problem. But if the qibla is like this, you face like this. But let me also add this. Some people, after reciting Fatiha, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. This is wrong now. Why are you dancing? This is wrong. Even some people, when they are praying silently, Zuri Asri, you will know they don't finish Fatiha without action. It is wrong. Don't do that on Salat. So, but if it is bending to face the Qibla, inshallah, that is even the more correct thing. When someone release light spermatozoa before Salat Zuri and purify the body and perform ablution and clean part of the skin, it is the assisting in the pants. Okay, okay, let's say that somebody had a wet dream and he had a discharge. Then he performed ghusl, performed ablution. He is required to wash the pants, to use water to wash it if it is fresh. Then he performed salat, and then during salat al-isha, he realized that there is still stain. No problem. Because the ulama have said the spermatozoa al-maniyu tahirun. Al-maniyu tahir. The spermatozoa is pure. It is not an impurity. Even though we are required to remove it, it is pure. Our mother Aisha, radhiyallahu ta'ala anha, said, لَقَدْ رَأَيْتُنِي أَفْرُكُهُ مِنْ ثَوْبِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ فَرْكًا. I used ثُمَّ يُصَلِّ فِيهِ or فَيُصَلِّ فِيهِ. I used to scratch the dry spermatozoa from the prophet cloth with my finger. I would scratch it. And he will go and pray in that cloth. He will not wash the clothes. So this is the evidence that al-maniyu tahir. Another statement the ulama have mentioned is that because al-maniyu is the aslu of Ibn Adam, is the aslu of all mankind, and al-Muslim tahirun hayya wa maita. The Muslim is pure whether dead or alive. So how can you say what brought him to life is impure? Much more so, it is this same sperm from whence came the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you say that the aslu is impure? No. So if during Isha you now saw dry spermatozoa on your pants, just scratch the thing away and continue salat. It doesn't affect what you have prayed earlier. Can you please explain when and how to do Qabli and Ba'di? This one is another topic entirely. I think we have explained this in the past. We'll find another time. Qabli Ba'di, this one is another topic. But doing it is very simple. In fact, I told you in that class that the Mavaibu Fiqhiyya, some of them said, As-sujud kulluhu qabla salam. Some of them said, As-sujudu kulluhu ba'da salam. Yes, I think in the Hanafi madhab, As-sujudu kulluhu qabla salam. In the Shafi'i madhab, As-sujudu kulluhu ba'da salam. It is in the Maliki madhab that sujud is either qabli or ba'di. The Hanafi said, if you dana of qabli and you did ba'di, it is valid. You dana ba'di, you did qabli, is valid. Just do sujud, khalas. So inshallah we'll discuss that. Someone should remind me. Second factor on salat, what if the third rakah and the imam is not patient enough for us to finish reciting? What are we supposed to do? Go to ruku what? Don't go to ruku. Al-Imam al-Bukhari has a book. I have the book in my office there. It is titled, is it Hukmu Qira'atul Fatiha Khalf al-Imam. Abu Hurairah is of the opinion that if you don't recite Fatiha behind the Imam, even if you catch the Imam on ruku, do your Fatiha before joining him. I'll bring that book on Friday, inshallah. The Imam has gone on ruku like this, and you just joined. Allahu Akbar, alhamdulillah. Finish your Fatiha before you join him. Because la salata liman lam yakra bi Fatihatil Kitab. Look, that's why I said fiqh issues are issues for they are issues for scholars. When inshallah on Friday you get to see their opinion. But that's the view. That you don't have that rakah. If you don't recite Fatiha, you don't have the rakah. You don't have the rakah. That's their opinion. So if the imam is not patient enough for you, even if you have to Usain Bolt your Fatiha, Usain Bolt it you. God help your imam. So please, according to this opinion, and this is the opinion that I hold, recite Fatiha. No matter how much you have to squeeze to do it, recite it. Can you use your language to pray dua while you sujood? This issue the ulama have explained. It is better if you recite dua in Arabic. Any dua you know in Arabic is better. But if you cannot, talk, no problem. I am Nupe, for example, and I want to pray in sujood, and I don't understand Larabawa. In fact, I cannot say, oh Lord, I need money. Talk, so the way I'm done, you have loose. Talk. May Allah accept it. No problem with that, inshallah. But it is better if you can recite it in Arabic. Bismillah. Okay, I have this one. Can you say it in another language? Yes, but Arabic is better, inshallah. Someone born as a Muslim, they never knew of ghusl bath. After every ritual impurity, now he or she has passed through a lot of this impurity. Then later learned that he or she should have ghusl. What should the person do concerning the previous ritual impurity? Okay, no problem. You are born a Muslim, but you don't even know, you have never had janaba before in your life. So you have had several reasons for janaba you didn't do. Talk, Allah. It means that all the prayers you have been praying for this donkey years, you have just been legovine your ibadah. It's like doing step over without moving the ball. So, may Allah forgive you. And that is why there is no excuse for ignorance. Farifuni qabla an ta'buduni is a very good statement, not a hadith. It's a very good statement. You must seek knowledge before you start worshiping. No problem. We hope that Almighty Allah will forgive your ignorance. What you are supposed to do it from the moment you know. Start taking your ghusl then. We cannot say you should now count how many menstruations you have done and take ghusl in the number of that menstruation. No. One ghusl is okay for all. You understand? But don't let it repeat itself again. Always seek knowledge before you act. So that is that. And then make serious tawbah for all the prayers you have prayed without doing ghusl, janaba or haido. Hold on, sir. Is it possible to put down the two hands during salat without any excuse? Like I said, last week when we were discussing the issue of these hands, right? I told you that it is reported that Abdullah ibn Zubayr ibn al-Awwam kana yusalli mursila yadayhi. He used to pray with his two hands, release like this. And the Sa'id ibn Musayyab, somebody said, I never saw him praying like this. But lana ma ruwiya min fi'li Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What concerns us is what Prophet used to pray like this. So I want to advise you, even though praying like this does not invalidate your salat, praying like this makes your salat better, because the more your salat is closer to that of the Prophet, the better and more rewarding it will be. Why? The Prophet said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Pray as you have seen me pray. So please, don't pray like this. Raise your hand. Always pray like this. This is better, inshallah. Most people pray salat in different positions, not because they choose to do, but because they were physically. Yeah, I think I said this last week, that if you are physically challenged, there are certain things you will not be able to do. I made an example with praying like this, that if you have physical challenge and you cannot pray like this, pray anyhow you are able to pray. Some people are fat, and because they are fat, they will not be able to sit tawarukali. Right? No, it is not an ailment. That is how they are created. Because they are fat, they can't sit like this. So if this is how they can sit, no problem. What matters is, fattaqullaha mastata'tum. Fear Allah to the best of your ability. Do we understand? So that is that. And finally, upon joining the second rakat of salat, is it true that one has to make intention? Firstly, for being a follower. Secondly, for being an imam. That's not of anyone. What intention? Just enter salat and start praying now. When you perform ablution and enter this place, were you here to come and dance? You are here to come and pray now. That intention has been made. So you don't need to say to follow the salat. Allahu Akbar, and you are praying. Yeah, you already have the niyyah with him. The issue of whether after the imam has made taslim, someone else can join you or not is a matter of juristic difference. My own view, wallahu ta'ala alam, I don't have a personal view, Abi. The view of the ulama that I support, let me say that. One of the scholars said, Atana min al-a'rabi qawmun tafaqahu wa laysa lahum fil fiqhi qabul wala ba'du yaquluna hadha 'indana ghayru jaizin wa man antum hatta yakuna lakum 'indu. Who are you to say my opinion? So this is not my opinion. The opinion of the ulama that I support is that after your imam has made taslim, another person can join you. You become imam for that person. Wallahu ta'ala. As students, we would like that you explain to us the ruling of Salatul Qasri, what to do when you get home or what you get just arrive at school after a stressful journey. Okay. I think this is another topic again. Qasru Salah. What is the distance? Some of the scholars said from 70 kilometers above. Some said it is back to urfu kullu ma yusamma safaran fi urfi nas tuksar fi salat. How many days? All these are issues that require time. But inshallah, let's say that our time is well spent. Next on Friday, keep these questions for me. I will attend to them on Friday, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.